So with the hire of John Sumrall, I mean, I don't know about you, but in some chats I'm in, everyone was basically saying all the recruits are going to leave because we're hiring John Sumrall. Now, that was kind of a reaction without thinking take because these guys have stuck around for an extra month and a half since Billy Napier's been fired. And now Lane Kiffin, if he was hired, we could have blamed players staying for Lane Kiffin being the next coach here. But really, a big reason is because of money.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, John Sumrall, we've talked about it, kind of seen some comparisons to Dan Campbell or Dan Lanning, like where these are infectious personality guys. And Dan got me confused. John Sumrall is going to rub off pretty well on some players. So I don't want to take away all the credit there. But a good reason for it is probably because of our NIL offers. But I think the biggest win so far, in my opinion, has probably been KJ Ford, four-star edge rusher out of Duncanville. He said he plans on signing with Florida on Wednesday. So anything can happen. I've seen recruits commit and flip within a 3-day period. So anything can happen, but you got to feel good that you're going to be keeping one of your highest rated players there in KJ Ford and kind of a unicorn player there. You're getting an edge rusher out of Duncanville, Texas to come to Florida.
Yeah.
How often does that happen?
Yeah. No, I mean, Duncanville's a powerhouse. They produce a ton of really good players. Decorian Moore from Duncanville, Harlem Berry, I believe, from Duncanville, the LSU running. Or no, not Harlem Berry. Caden Durham? Is that who's from Duncanville? One of the LSU running backs is from Duncanville.
Colin Simmons.
Dominic. Yeah, Colin Simmons. Yeah, I mean, they produce a ton of really good players. And also, like, not only are you hopefully keeping Caden Durham.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, not only are you keeping one of your top prospects, hopefully, but, I mean, I think that was probably the guy that I would say I thought was the biggest flip watch. Like, that was the one I was most concerned about.
He got projected to flip the Texas A&M a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago now.
So if you hold on to that, that's a huge win right off the bat. I mean, we talked about this last night a little bit, but, like, let's just be real. Like, these guys have signed things and they're set to make a lot of money. And they're set to make a lot of money this year or next year. And, like, you can't just go and shop yourself around. I mean, you can to an extent. If you're a 5-star top 10 recruit, you can. But you can't, like, I mean, if you're like a mid 4-star, you're not just going to another SEC school in the next 3 days and getting more money or similar money necessarily. Like,
the
schools have budgets and they've, these classes are pretty much finalized at this point. So, it's easier said than done. Obviously, you might still lose some of these guys, but it's not like the old days where you could just be like, you know what, I don't want to go to this school anymore. Like, there's a little more to it than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was actually about to say, I remember when I saw KJ Ford got projected to flip to Texas A&M, and, like, maybe I was wrong, but they already have, like, 2 highly rated edge commits committed to them. Mm-hmm. And it was a little interesting to see that KJ Ford was going to flip there because I thought if he was going to flip, it'd be to Texas Tech, which could still happen. Anything's possible. But, that was an interesting thing out there. But also, CJ Brondahl was projected to flip to Ohio State. But as of this weekend, he's apparently trending to stick with Florida. So that's another big win for the Gators right there. Those 2 of your top 3 highest ranked commits. So I think the interesting one here now is Davian Gross, your top 50 recruit wide receiver, who's out of North Texas. And my thing with Gross was we got him, a lot of the Billy Napier era, we talked about his relationship building and, NIL lack of maybe recruiting for Billy Napier won us some battles. But to my knowledge, Gross was a pretty high NIL guy there. And Oklahoma is where he wanted to go, but our NIL was a good bit higher. So he ended up committing to Florida. And I kind of assumed that with the fact that Oklahoma they're going to be in the playoffs, maybe they get some more booster money in, some more buy-in for Venables, kind of like we discussed with Billy Napier. And if he makes the playoff, Billy Napier will get or makes a big run, at least sign games. We'll get some more money to go to their NIL and go to recruiting. And maybe that's not happening with Oklahoma. And I mean, Davian Gross has always been quiet. Like, even before he committed to Florida, it was like no one knew he was going to commit until he posted on his Instagram committing today. So it's like, It's a good thing he's being quiet. Who knows? But I'll be interested to see if we're able to hold on to that one and keep a lot of this class together. Because after that, Jaraylin McCoy seems to be all in. Malik Morris, Will Griffin, like Tyler Chuckiam says he plans on signing with Florida. Like most of our highly rated commits are. They've said that they plan on signing with Florida or trending that way as of now. So I think we're looking at a good thing here.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a pretty solid transition class, all things considered, if it holds together. Obviously, Florida got a projection today to flip a 4-star or borderline 4-star interior lineman from Tulane, the best player in their class. This Rivals, I think, reported that he did flip, and then they walked that back.
So Stam Spiegelman reported that he flipped, but then Tyler Harden for 247 said that he talked to Tylan George, and George said he had not flipped yet. Now, he didn't say he hadn't flipped yet, but he hasn't flipped. Pause, yet. And yes, he is so in the composite, he's ranked 599 as a 3-star. And it's like, yay, 3-star alignment. He still would be, he's ranked higher than 3 of our current line commits. Funny enough, but
yeah, not like Florida's landing like super highly rated offensive line prospects under the previous staff.
No, but he's ranked in the top 200 on 247's personal rankings. ESPN has like a 77 grade on him, which an 80 is a 4-star for ESPN, if I'm not mistaken. So they're pretty dang low on him, but maybe he can jump up, maybe not. I don't want to play this game, play that game anymore. I've played that plenty enough in my time, but no, Tylan George, it'll be the way it happened so quickly. Like John Sumrall got announced he's flipping committing. He's going to coach at Florida, and within like 30 minutes, George was picked to flip to Florida, and then it got reported a little bit, but no. We'll see what ends up happening there with Tylan George.
Yeah, Tyler needs a minute. No, yeah, I mean, I think we'll have to just see.
I saw that.
Is that true? I didn't see
Lamar
that.
Brown. I mean, he's already committed to LSU, but yeah. Kiffin is he committed to Texas A&M? No, he's committed to LSU.
There's also been some smoke about a top 100 guy currently committed to Auburn whose name escapes me. I don't know how real that is. Yeah. Yeah, he's an Alabama guy. I mean, Sumrall apparently has really strong connections in Alabama, like really good relations with the high school coaches there. Yeah, he was at Troy. And I think, as I think some other, I think his wife went to Auburn or something. I think that was the main connection people were flexing with that job. So he knows the state. I mean, I would expect Alabama will be a relative strength of recruiting for Florida. Obviously,
it has been for a little bit now, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's true. It has. Well. Jaden Baugh, prominent Alabama guy, right?
Marquez, yeah. No, Jaden Baugh was Georgia. He was highly recruited to Alabama, but he's from Georgia.
Okay. I'm getting him. I know P. Ryan was an Alabama guy. I mean, that was a while ago.
Yeah, P. Ryan.
But that's
Marquez Daniels.
I'm confused. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it would be 4-star linebacker / edge. Top, he's ranked 97th in the composite. It'll be a big splash. And you look back at Billy Napier when he first got here, he had 2 weeks to go out there and recruit, and he did. He ended up he flipped Devin Moore, who was a 4-star safety or corner, Naples from Notre Dame. But he ended up getting Kamari Wilson to sign. He never committed anywhere, but he got Kamari Wilson, who at the time was a 5-star out of IMG, which was like 2 things that we never got. I had 5 stars in IMG players, so that was a really big deal there. But having 4 days, and to even include today for Sumrall, like he's making phone calls, I guess, and talking NIL money. But I can have 3 days to go out there, keep our current players, and go out and try to recruit more players. That's a pretty big. I would consider that a pretty big deal. And I've seen a lot of people say that Sumrall can't recruit, and I'm not sure where they're getting that narrative from. Like he hasn't.
I mean, they're getting the narrative from the fact that Tulane and Troy's recruiting rankings were not like stellar relative to the conference. All I'll say is that everyone who talks about him, who's worked with him and knows him, like stresses how good of a recruiter he is. So we'll just have to see.
Jaden Ball is basically a Bama lock, and we got him late from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, we'll talk about later today when retaining players. Ball, one of them. Bama's a school. I think if he's gonna go transfer, I think Bama would probably be the front runner there.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's also worth noting at Sumrall had 2 4-star wide receivers committed to Tulane. Trez Green, I think, is the one who decommitted on the 24th 6 days ago. Everyone knew Sumrall was leaving. A month ago, everyone could have predicted that Sumrall was going to leave, especially when
he
Auburn
had 20
job opened up.
Yeah, he had 20. It was a matter of which one he took, but yeah.
So, he had a 4-star top 250 recruit, I believe, Trez Green, out of Louisiana. He already decommitted. Maybe that's someone he brings on to come with him to Florida. It'll be a solid wide receiver commit. And also, he had a 4-star who ended up flipping to Oklahoma like a month ago and is now being projected to flip to LSU. So, Summerall's recruited some pretty good players there to go to Tulane. So, I think we got to let Sumrall prove what he can do on the recruiting trail before we make a judgment on that.
Yeah, I mean, to say, and, question, what makes you think he'll be able to recruit really well here? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he won't. I'm not, like, coming out here saying he's going to come in and recruit at an elite level, but I think it's a lot more complicated than just, he had the 3rd best class in the American the last 3 years. Like, he's obviously not an elite recruiter. I think it's a little more complex than that. I mean, my bigger concern would be his lack of experience in the state of Florida. I think that is maybe a bit of a question because I think knowing the high school dynamic and the coaches here is a big boost. But with that being said, I mean, I think he seems to be a pretty tireless recruiter, and we'll just see.
Hayden, I have a pressing question. Did I miss it? I don't think you said it yet.
In the state of the chat, I'm a little worried what this pressing question is about to be right now.
Hey, we saying multiple. Can we do a call-in show? Call-in show would be dope. Hey, maybe next Sunday.
Yeah,
we'll have a call-in show.
Yeah, if we have enough, I think it's really just if we have enough interest. Like if we have enough interest to justify a call-in show, I'd love to do a call-in show.
Okay, I think if they had 3 more parking spaces, that is enough.
Has parking really gotten that bad? Because like I haven't gone to a game where I've had to park in a while. Like had to like find parking in a while. Is it that? You just don't? Yeah, I mean, because obviously like I lived on campus and never had to park.
What you're doing.
Was that?
It's bad if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like I know spots, I know where I can park for free and tailgate and stuff like that. But like if you're from out of town and you haven't been to many Gator games, it's like you're probably gonna look at the price for parking lots and see that. And I think it's worse for students.
Yeah.
Like when Billy first got here for the football team specifically, but yeah. Did you guys see the video of? We're getting off track here. We'll finish this segment up. Florida recruiting. Is there anything we missed? I saw a question actually. I guess we'll talk this for the recruiting class. Is there anybody currently committed that we think we lose? Kakua Amua, our tight end commit, was also visiting Auburn this past weekend. Maybe he's one. I mean, it's funny because I remember we've talked about him and thinking if he's going to flip probably to a West Coast school. And if he flips to Auburn, that would be pretty funny because we're quite clearly not a West Coast school. But I'll say this, Auburn will make a trade. We'll take Jaquez Wilkes. You guys can take Kakua Amua. Deal?
I think Florida would be happy with that. Yeah, I mean, like I'm not as like tuned into recruiting as you are, but like I don't really see I haven't seen any smoke for any of these guys to flip. So
no,
I would say I'd probably be a little surprised if none of them do, but I'm not sure there's one I'm like pointing to being like, this is the guy. I mean, that one would have been KJ Ford. And I'd still probably say that's the one I'm worried about because recruits say things that are not always true.
They do say things.
So that's the one I'd probably still be the most worried about. But I mean, if the guy you're most worried about is a guy who's saying 72 hours before signing day, I'm signing with Florida, then okay. I mean, I guess you got to feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, maybe Wednesday night we'll be able to do some recruiting update of video. If we do something major, even maybe a quick live stream Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday night. Just don't know what we can expect. Not even a day after we hired John Sumrall.